Blessings. It is very important that those of you who are the calm, educated, grounded, and connected with your higher self leaders, because you will be called upon to give rational explanations. You will be called upon to find the balance in between those who get too excited about it and those who refuse to accept it, and those who become very angry about it. Now, what our plan is that it will be the Pleiadians that will lower the frequency because they look just like humans. So they're not frightening in any way, except they are taller. So there is that tallness so that people know that they need to be respectful. However, there are many factors that determine exactly in what frequency they will land. So this landing will not be in a place, it will be in a frequency. And everyone whose consciousness can expand to that frequency, they will be the ones who will perceive it. So those who have expanded their consciousness into gamma waves are likely already having some degree of communication with the galactics and or with their higher selves or the angelics. Now, those of you who are having that experience will not be afraid, because you have already been debriefed by your own higher guidance about what you need to do, when you need to do it, where you need to do it. And mostly, you will be the calm source of information that allows people to realize that this is what they asked for. That the reason why the galactics are here, the reason why the Pleiadians are coming, is because a majority of Earthlings asked. They said, we are ready. Now, the minority, however, can be very loud and quite violent and very terrified. And so that is why we are not going to land in the third dimension. Because that would just be an excuse for those of power over to open up more bombs and cause more violence. So we are allowing the people to create their own reality that resonates to the frequency of their consciousness. So if their consciousness is pinned to only the third or the lower fourth dimension, then they have a great deal of fear. And we will not reveal ourselves at that frequency because they would be frightened, and frightened people get violent. Now, the people that have their consciousness that resonates into the fourth dimension, the mid, and more towards the top of the fourth dimension, will be receiving a lot of dreams, and they will have this experience in their dream life, or they will have this experience in their meditation life, but they won't have it in their daily life yet. Now, only the ones who have been able to expand their consciousness into the fifth dimension, and those who have been able to anchor their light body within their core, will be the ones that will actually be able to perceive us. Now, you will not perceive us in the same manner that you perceive a third-dimensional tree or even a fourth-dimensional dream. Actually, when we, the Arcturians and the Pleiadians, reveal ourselves to Suzanne, we appear to her, we understand, almost like cutouts of light. So there is an outline of a tall, thin person, which is light in the inside, and then the outline of a more moving being, ourselves, the Arcturians, which is light in the inside. So there are no details yet. So what you are getting is, all right, This is a feeling. This feeling feels like the Arcturians feel to Suzelle. This feeling feels like the Pleiadians feel to Suzelle. And it will be the same to all the awakened ones. They will feel it via their bodies. They will know by their physical bodies. Now, if you have not read the blog post, please go back. We have been preparing you with blog messages, preparing for contact. So please go back and read all of those messages, because all of those messages are meant to slowly, gradually allow you to adapt to the possibility that there is life in and around your world. Now, humanity has been deeply, deeply brainwashed that they are the top of the heap. But at the same time, their television and their radio and their schools very often, and many things in their life, their jobs, tell them that they're no good. So many people are so confused. On the one hand, they think, yes, I'm good enough. I am able to perceive these higher beings. But then they have to look at all this third-dimensional indoctrination, largely from the television set, where the commercials come up and say, you're not good enough because you have this wrong with you, and buy this, and you're not good enough because you have this wrong with your house or with your dog or with your glasses, and you must buy this, because it would be so embarrassing if anybody knew. And so this has been a purposeful campaign for humanity to live with this level of embarrassment. Oh, I am different from the people I see on the commercials. What's wrong with me? And so what we want you to say is that the people on the commercials are actors and actresses. They're not those people either. And we also want to say is don't watch commercials. Don't watch them. Don't read them. Be very selective with where you place your attention. If you look at, enter into, read or hear something that creates fear, then stop. Fear says no. So respect your fear and don't do it. Now that might mean that, oh, that's a bad message, or it might mean that you're not ready for the message. Most of the time, it means that you're not ready for the message. Because if you are ready for the message, it comes in and you say, no, I can feel this isn't the right message. This message feels dark and fearful to me. And so the identification of a dark and fearful message is very important. But if you get upset and hurt and feel victimized, then you have allowed your consciousness to fall down to that third dimensional level where you are a victim. So we say to all of you, you're going to be seeing and hearing a lot of things that are frightening things. Oh, this isn't real. Oh, what's wrong with you? There's no such thing. You're just a weird hippie. Who knows? You're going to be hearing all those types of things from people that are not able to accept the higher frequencies of reality. And so all you do is send them unconditional love and violet fire and turn off that show. Don't read that magazine. Don't talk to those people, because they are amongst the ones that have been brainwashed. And there has been a huge brainwashing campaign that started in the early 50s when we first tried to land. So people don't even know that they've been brainwashed. People aren't even aware that they decided that there's no such thing because they watched all the horror movies in the 50s and then all the tags that went onto the commercials that people didn't even know was a tag, and all the tags that went onto the TV commercials that people didn't know, and all the 50 hertz levels of sound that were run through the neighborhood so people didn't know, and all the myriad wars that was created to keep you all afraid, in debt, and thinking that the military and the fighting is a solution to every problem. And we will not reveal ourselves to any person, place, situation, or thing that has any fear at all. So you do not have to worry by being frightened, because if you hold fear, this will not occur to you. You will never see it. You will never hear it. You will never experience it. Because what you do not know from your level, humans put off a low red glow when they are holding fear in their aura. And we have filters so that our messages never go into those frequencies of light. In fact, our messages only go into the higher fourth dimension. And then there are some humans who are translating and being courageous and saying, okay, this is what's happening, this is what's happening, this is what I've learned, this is what I've learned. So there is lots of information that supports that we are real, that there are intergalactic beings, and that Earth is indeed an important planet and a keystone planet for this galaxy. And that is why so many of the forces of darkness have landed on Earth. Because Earth is like the kingpin when you bowl. If you hit the kingpin, then everything goes. And so they don't want Earth to ascend, because then that will go throughout the solar system and all the way out into the galaxy. Now, in closing, we have said this to Suzanne many times, and we're happy to say it to more. We see so many of you, it's actually very sweet. We see all these little eyes and ears and consciousness peeking through. And they come in and they see our reality, and then they, oh, well, that can't be true, and they fall back down. And then they peek up through again, and we say, hi, how are you? And they, oh, wait, what's that? Oh, must be a dream, and they fall back down. We want you to know that it's real. And we welcome you, and we want to give you unconditional love and bask you in violet fire so that you can acclimate to this frequency. And blessings to you all.